information to share with you this morning. And to my right here, Mr. Kyle Staude. Welcome back to Ruston, my friend. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Pleasure to be here.
Well, let's revisit a little bit. Kyle Staude, for those that may remember, Easy Rider, is that the only part of the wardrobe that has sustained over?
Pretty much. It's the same shirt, since day one. Yeah, we came to town with Easy Rider. I guess that was 2019, and had a little bit of success. And it was crazy timing. We actually were in some talks with the Greek system at Tech about doing a pilot with our sort of subscription model that we had going on, and then COVID sort of smacked us square in the face.
The COVID cacophony hit, but you adapted and redirected. And what I want people to take away, not only from today but going forward, and episodes here and episodes that you and Quentin are going to launch as well. Words of encouragement, because we're living in a day and age where, things ain't normal. That doesn't mean they're bad. Let's get out there and create a remarkable future, right?
Sure. It is what you make it at the end of the day. So,
right. And so the new organization called Burn the Ships here with Kyle Staude. Tell us a little bit about that, and where did you find out about it?
Golly, so it's sort of multifaceted. So we pivoted into Easy Deliver. So that's kind of the food delivery model. But the Easy brand, we've always had a vision of finding a way to really get integrated into the community. How can we promote other businesses that we deal with directly, just promote at the end of the day. We have some business acquaintances who actually ended up being, turned into really good friends of mine in Atlanta, and they actually started a podcast called Burn the Ship Atlanta. So it's really rooted in, back in the settlers' days when they found new land, the notion of burning the ship, saying there's no going back. We're going to push forward and we'll figure it out on the fly. That's really what it's rooted in, and it obviously applies to any entrepreneur who, in my case, I was working as an engineer for Chevron. I burnt that ship and pursued this Easy brand, head on, and we've just figured it out on the fly. So that's kind of the core of what Burn the Ship is all about.
Right.
So we're sort of going to be an extension of the Easy brand, but also a sister company of Burn the Ship Atlanta. I think we're going to call it Burn the Ship Louisiana. So myself and Quentin Durr, works with Origin Bank here in town, become a great friend of mine. Our relationship is also very representative of what Burn the Ship is all about, that networking aspect. And I'm a firm believer, it sounds cliche, but your network is your net worth. And if it wasn't for Quentin, some of the relationships I've been able to create might not have happened if it wasn't for that connection. So
sure.
The goal is just to provide a platform to really, share people's journeys, their stories, whether it be in business or a personal journey, overcoming mental health issues, whatever the case may be. I think Burn the Ship can apply in many aspects of life. So we want to be able to provide that platform for people to share it. And, we're not out here charging people. We're excited about hearing those stories. We were just sitting here talking about, you mentioned, Pete Maravich. I don't know what his journey is like, but I love hearing different people's stories. So,
the Burn the Ship LA, Kyle Staude, our guest, is going to be a podcast between you, Quentin Durr, and whomever else. Because again, we're in this. The thing that inspired me there, Kyle, back about a year ago, that we have the opportunity to create a second renaissance. As opposed to be at the effect and under all of the inundation, pun intended, of how bad things are. You still got to work your way through, weave, adapt, and grow, and then share the stories.
100%. It's funny you say that. It's I've had my own battles with, call it mental health.
Well, let's stop right there. Yeah, tell us about a ship burning in your life, and if there may be more than one, let's just stay on one. Are there more than one?
Absolutely. So I've been very vocal about my journey when it comes to, I dealt with pretty severe depression at a period, and actually almost, committed suicide. I've been very vocal about sharing that story, but it actually ties into my journey with pursuing the Easy brand as well. I'll be totally honest. God, it's such a deeper story, but to this day, I've said that my involvement with the Easy brand really saved my life because it kept me distracted from what was really bogging me down at that point in time. So I also believe that if I didn't go through that, I don't know if I'd have had thick enough skin to endure what I've had to go through over the ebbs and flows of entrepreneurship. So it's again, it's a much deeper story.
Sure.
And then the obvious one is, I had a very cush job working for Chevron as an engineer and making great money, but I just, at the end of the day, I wasn't happy, and I took control of that and took the risk and leap of faith in myself and my abilities, and here we are.
Sure. I was looking for an inspirational quote for me that I don't know when and where I heard it, but it's until one is committed. And let's see, do you see inspiration here? I'm looking for I can't read that fast. Anyway, but until one is committed, there's always a chance to draw back, a hesitancy. But until you make that commitment, burn the ship. All sorts of unforeseen events, help, assistance, come your way that you never would have realized unless you burn the ship.
Correct.
That sets forth, as Goethe said it, it's providence sets in motion a whole bunch of wheels that never would have engaged until you lit the match.
100%. And going back to the whole, what the root of burn the ship stands, back in the settlers' days, burning the ship, you are forced, whatever you face, you have to endure. There's no, hey, let's hop on the ship and go back to where we came from. It's we got to push forward no matter what, and if we have to change directions or take a step back and reevaluate, then so be it. But
yeah, here it is. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there's one elementary truth, that ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits, and that there we could stop and drink some coffee on, the difference between the bacon and the egg, but definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that never otherwise would have occurred. You probably would have met Quentin, right? I mean,
oh, that's a fact. I mean, there's so many.
Never would have met Rick Godley.
Would have never. Me and Quentin joke around because I got to meet Karl Malone, which I'm a huge basketball fan. So I was fanboying pretty hard, but obviously, trying to keep it together when I met him. And then when I actually moved to the Ruston area. Within 2 days, Quentin was like, "Hey, you want to go to Roy Jones Jr.'s house?" And I was like, "Don't have to ask me twice." He set the bar pretty high in terms of who he's. But yeah, it's just been it's one of those, yeah, it's a cool little story when you really think about just.
Well, that's your story to tell, and that's going to be episode 1 of ATL LA, right?
So we'll briefly touch on our story. The goal is for our stories to sort of kind of pop in conversation here and there throughout episodes, and then maybe down the road we can sit down and interview each other and really dive into the details. But we don't want to make it about us. We want people to understand, maybe at a 30,000 foot view, how we connected, what our stories are about. But at the end of the day, we want to make it about those that we'll be bringing onto the platform for sure.
Kyle Staude, our guest here. This is episode 1 of Ketchin Up with Kyle. Or who knows where it's going to go and grow to, but yeah. Let me just finish this thing, because we have this could be your whole show. All right, sure. A whole stream of events, issues, from the decision raising in one's favor all manners of unforeseen incidents. We touched on a couple of those with you, and meetings. You said it, and material assistance, which no one could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So begin it now. So that's a
good one.
Yeah, you can have it too. I didn't create it. I mean, that's just one of Rick's fortune cookie inspirations.
That's great.
So Kyle Staude, where are we at here? Let's keep it brief. Let's keep it wet. And WHET, wet is the word for people to have their interest piqued. What else do you want to say to folks that that you wish they knew about anything? Or
golly, I think one thing is, talking to even some younger people who they have great ideas, or just an idea in general, and an idea is only as good as an idea, and it really hit hit me when you were reading that out is just go for it. Like there is a 100% chance it will not work out if you don't give it a try. Right.
Right.
So
right.
just go for it. You have, what do you have to, like, I looked at it as I have nothing to lose. I've won by taking the chance because I've learned so much. I've met so many great people. Honestly, I don't know that you could pay me enough to go back to the corporate world that I was in. I absolutely love this interaction, getting to meet new people. But yeah, I would just say just go for it. At the end of the day, you might lose a little money, but what you learn out of that, the network that you build out of that is going to be way more valuable in the long run. And look, we're not even a success. I'm in the middle of the grind. You know what I mean?
No,
we're not even a success by
total
anything.
work in process.
So it's I'm speaking from it's not like I'm in we built this success. Now we've caused some traction, but by no means am I in a position to where like, well, this is how you build a successful company. I can just tell you that I took control of my happiness, and I wouldn't go back and trade it for anything. So it's been an awesome journey. Stressful at times, but that's part of it.
Well, and that's part of the life lesson is to manage the stress and allow that to be used to keep motivating
100%.
as opposed to debilitating.
100%. And that's kind of piggybacking that's where, somebody like a Quentin in your life is very beneficial. So having somebody in your circle that is tight, that you can sit back and say, hey man, I'm struggling, really just vent to or brainstorm ideas. It's important to have those people in your circle because you are not going to endure it yourself. I can promise you that. You need those around you. That I'll give you a perfect example. We got connected with Johnny's Pizza, and we now do all their delivery. They don't even do in-house delivery in Farmerville.
Easy Delivery does,
correct. And Farmerville and Bastrop.
Wait, hang on a second. Let me just go to the inspirational. Let's see. Does that? Yeah, that fits line 4. A whole stream of events, issues from the decision.
Yeah, exactly.
That never would have other. Go ahead, Johnny's Pizza.
I mean, Quentin worked for Johnny's for, golly, I think he said like 6-7 years, and worked for corporate for a few days and was like, nah, this isn't for me. And that's when he kind of moved on into other ventures. But had that connection, had I not taken that risk, right? It all goes back to the first step, right? Had I not taken that risk, had I not looked at Ruston as an opportunity for Easy Rider and come over here, and then that's where the connection with Quentin was made. And had he not introduced me to Johnny, I don't know that we would be in that position. Am I capable of creating that relationship? Sure, but if you can get a warm handoff like that, it's much easier. It makes that less challenging. So, it fits that quote pretty spot on. So.
All right, we've been rolling for 13 minutes. We're going to kill it here. I'm still learning as well. This is a delayed right now, and I'm trying to see if we have any feedback because this is the future. And so as you learn, I'd like to learn. And so, no, don't see anything. We're good. All right. Well, Quentin, Kyle, catching up with Kyle. That's a whole nother program. This is the real thing. Thanks so much for your time, man.
It's a pleasure. You've been a fan since day one, and it's been much appreciated. So, appreciate what you do. It's awesome seeing, you've pivoted and kind of done something different. It's really awesome to see. So
yeah. I jumped overboard and
burnt that ship, right?
Well, yeah, I ran away from the boat, but yeah, I burnt that ship is burnt, but. We won't go there right now, but this is awesome. So this is freedom and fluidity, and I've adopted this, and I want to give credit to the Salvation Army here. Do the most good, and then I've added expediently, effectively, and efficiently. So anything I can do for you, and vice versa, because the future is ours to build and make it happen here
100%.
Locally.
100%.
ATL LA. All right.